All right, hands on our heads. And we're off. This is the 2025 Tough Life Tour. This is my first year in the main event. Last year I attempted to make the main event, but I could not make it. Not the greatest start to the race, but it's a hard enduro, so the starts don't matter as much as a regular hare scramble. I can make up this time. Like I was saying, this is my first time doing this race, so I'm not too sure what to expect. So like, I should save my energy, try to go fast now and get around bottlenecks. Look at this. Alright, made a pass there, doing good. So right off the bat, we're thrown into a bunch of rock gardens, and this is the theme for this race, is rock gardens after rock gardens. And for those who don't know, this race, Tough Like Rorr, is a part of a 3-day hard enduro race called the Keystone Challenge. This race is considered to be one of the hardest races in America. In previous years, people like Tristan Hart and Cody Webb have compared this to an Erzberg. So it makes you wonder, what is a guy like me doing here at this race that is compared to one of the hardest races in the world? I'm here for the same reason as 90% of the racers here. I know I won't finish the race. I know I probably won't even finish a lap, but I will try. Oh, just found some of my friends there from Team Poeo. Looking back at this, I don't know why I didn't just continue going. Like, it's a race, you know. I could have just passed them. Nobody would have said anything. I'm being careful here because in the qualifier I messed this up and I lost like 3 minutes on this hill. Onto the first bottleneck here, and I'm looking around, I see maybe another line over here, and one of the course workers called me over there to go check it out. This ended up being an easier line, and I got past a bunch of people. Alright, now we're coming up to what is the beginning of the end. This is the biggest bottleneck you'll ever see in any race. This is also one of the only places they allow spectators this year. So here I am, minding my business, trying to make it up, and a bike just comes and hits me. Thankfully I got a second angle here. Anyways, that didn't feel very good on my arm. A lot of pushing, a lot of struggling, a lot of bikes overheating, a lot of bikes flying everywhere. You know, this is what hard enduro is all about. So here I'm absolutely gridlocked with all these people around me. Alright, here I'm trying to get it going a little bit better, you know, keep my momentum up. But then I get caught up here. I'm gonna get stuck. Starts to lose my balance. And I fall over. I think there's nothing heavier than a bike on its side in the middle of a race. So in the qualifier, we actually come down this way in the course, which is significantly easier than going up this way. So this race for me is in a really bad time because it's at the end of May, so I'm coming off of finals for college and there's just no time to practice and ride and work out. So I'm probably in like the worst shape of the year at this point. Right there, I just made a big mistake. I should have stayed left and high instead of coming down into the right. And you'll see why in a sec. I cut it all out, but you see how no one that was near me is around me anymore? Because I took so long to get out of that hole. My back tire got stuck down under that rock and I could not get out of it. At this point, my heart rate is spiked, like zone 5 the whole way, because I am trying to push out of this rock garden just to get out of here. And it won't end, it just keeps on going and going and going, and now I'm getting to the end, but that was such a long section for no reason. So I find this high line and I'm able to get around some people that passed me earlier. So if you're new to riding and you want to try like a hard enduro race out for the first time, what I will say is I do not recommend Tough Like Rorr. What I would recommend is the Locked and Loaded. See, I think it would be good for you to go to Tough Like Rorr, maybe camp out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday race at the Locked and Loaded. Or if you have the money to spend, you can sign yourself up for stuff like Rorr, do the qualifier on Saturday, don't race the Sunday main event, and then race Locked and Loaded. That's what I did the first year, not because I wanted to, but because I didn't make it to the main event. But I felt like that was pretty cool. Something about this hill is very deceiving because it looks very easy from the bottom, but when you're on it, I mean, I couldn't find the traction to get up, and obviously you saw that guy, he had to flip his bike back down just to get down. So I don't know. At this point I'm getting very frustrated. Usually I wouldn't rev my bike out a whole bunch like that, but I don't know, I'm just getting frustrated with this hill. It looks so easy, but I was struggling so much. So throughout all this, I'm making a huge mistake. If you can see on the left, on my handlebars, there's a switch there, and it's on the on position. And that's from my fan. And the fan is too powerful for my bike, and it'll drain the battery. And at the time, I didn't know that. And the stupid thing about it is it's like OEM KTM fan. It's just that this bike's an XC bike, not an XCW bike. Well, anyways. Here I caught up to another big bottleneck. You know, this is like the only bottleneck that I didn't struggle with. I felt like I made it up there pretty easy. Obviously, waiting for people to move and stuff, that wasted a lot of time, but I never had to get off my bike and push.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So while everybody was going up top, I decided to stay low and see if I can get around some people.
There you go. Oh, no, no, too far.
I feel bad for not helping, but man, I was just trying to save energy. I'm too tired to be helping people out, man. I'm not gonna lie, I cut out like a solid 3 minutes of me trying to push this bike up that little bit of rock. I'm thinking for next year, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to mount this camera maybe a little lower or like a little farther out because I keep blocking it with my helmet. I don't like the way it looks. You're looking up the helmet, you're looking at my chin, you're looking at my nose. You know, the problem with doing a race like this is that it really makes you look like a worse rider than what you are because you're trying to race, you're trying to keep the momentum up, and you're not trying to take any breaks, so you get very tired. And something like this hill, I'd imagine I can make it up pretty easy, but because I'm so tired at this point, it's pretty difficult. So the section's called Down in a Hole, and I know there's a lot of names for other sections. I don't know them because this is my first year doing the main event, but I don't know. I felt like I was down in a hole for a pretty long time, so I don't know how long this section really is. So that's my dad right there trying to give me advice of where to go. There's something about this section right here that it just feels kind of like a dance with the motorcycle. You know, the way you're playing with the throttle and the clutch together to not spin the tire and to move the front and around. It just feels a lot like a dance, you know? And if you've never ridden a motorcycle like this, you're probably like, what the heck is he talking about? You know, like, a dance, like, what? But for those of you that have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, this is another hill that I'm sure I could have made it up if I had energy, but for me it's very difficult right now. And you'll see in a sec the issue. The worst thing you can hear in the middle of a hard enduro race.
Excuse me.
Anyways, I bump start the bike down the hill, and I get to this section, and the battery's dead again. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I need to get a good run, and bump start it here. And I get all the way to the end, and I can't get the bike started. I spent, no joke, 2 hours in that section where the little lake is, waiting for someone to bring me a battery. And now I'm going, and everybody's gone. It's only like an hour left of the race. All hope is lost. I'm alone in the race because nobody else is here. Like, everybody's gone. I'm pretty sure this section's called like the jungle or like welcome to the jungle or something like that, and it's, I see why I got the name. It's very jungly here. Well, since we're getting to the end of the video, I guess now's a good time to talk about the results. So I finished overall 110, which is not good. It's not what I was aiming for. I was aiming for, I don't know, not that, something better. And in the B class, I got 11th, which is also not good. Even though I spent 2 hours waiting for a battery, I'm looking at these results, and the people I was stuck with when my battery died, they didn't make it to the next checkpoint. They had 3 hours to make it to the next checkpoint, and they didn't make it. I was super confident that I could make this. I thought I had it in the bag, and I just had to throw my bike. It's not my proudest moment, but I just had to do what I had to do to get out of here. I had to just throw my bike over, just manhandle it up this log. Well, like I was saying, I don't think I would have gotten any better of a position even if I didn't have that issue with the battery. Because if no one else made it to the next checkpoint, then I don't think I would have made it. I would have stayed in the same place if I finished with those guys. Well, I'm out of this section, and that's the end of my race.
Yeah. How do I get out of here? It's not enough time to the next checkpoint, right? Ain't that 2?
We don't think so, but I mean, we hate to tell you no, but yet the race
No,
is
it's
over
fine
in
because
45 minutes.
it's battery issues, I guess.
Yeah, last.
It's kind of a bummer I had the battery issue. I wish I could have had a better chance at getting farther, but now enough for next year to bring a jumper pack or do what Cody Webb does and run an external battery for my fan. Well, that's the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.